Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Create. Today I'm going to be going over a little bit of progression, how you can step up and step down your speed and gears, as well as the millstone and the mixer. So it sounds like a lot, but actually it kind of is. In my first couple videos, I kind of was introducing you to Create, and then I was jumping straight into some more of the end-gamey type stuff with the mechanical crafter, but there was a lot of questions on that, so I really wanted to get that addressed. Otherwise, if you are wanting to know how to progress with this, the first video that I made and this video will probably end up doing quite well for introducing you to things. I should let you know that I did forget one thing in the first video, and that is if you are using encased fans. There is a fourth power that I forgot. One is campfire, another is regular fire, third one is lava, and of course the last one is probably the safest one and most compact, a magma block. Don't forget to put a lever on your encased fan to get it to run. That being said, let's go over here. And you can't actually get to this thing here, the rotational speed controller that I discussed in the second video, until you've actually accomplished brass. And in order to get to brass, you need to have a mixer. In order to have a mixer, you need a millstone. In order to have a millstone, you need to have some kind of rotational power that goes above or equal to 32 speed units. And a regular encased fan only does 16. Regular water wheel only does 15. You might be able to get a windmill with a massive amount of wool on there up to 32, but let's just assume that you don't, right? You're going to need to know how to step things up manually until you can get a little compact version like this running. So how do you do that? Well, you're going to need a whole lot of cogwheels, and I'm going to show you the difference here. So if I start with a couple cogwheels here in my inventory, we have one that is running currently. This is feeding off of the water wheels, so it's not going to be above 15 rotations per minute. But if I put down, let's get this out of here, a small wheel to start with, just to give an example, and then I step it up to a large wheel. Therefore, I am stepping it up, and that is going to increase its speed. Not immediately like this, because if I have a speedometer and just plonk it on there, it's still going to be saying 15. It's when you step it up into another set of gears. So let me grab a block. There we go. We're going to use this brass casing because it's really pretty. And I just realized that's going to update all of that water blocks. So we're going to end up using this cogwheel here, and that is now going to go faster because it is currently making this, well, just the large to small ratio is making it double in speed, which is 30, which is great. If you use one of these, an encased fan that is running at max speed of 16, doubling it will equal what you need to run a mixer. But this is one way of doing it. Then you can step it up further with a large cogwheel. Then you go again with, actually here, let's put one here and there, because they have to be diagonal to each other. A small wheel to a big wheel, yay! And you can keep on going from there further and further. But every time that you step into a new axle, not the same axle, but a new axle, it increases. So now we're up to 60 RPMs. And this is one way that you can do it. Now, if you want to do it the opposite way, you want to step it down. You're going to want to go in the reverse. You go big to small. So you're stepping it down a level. And then you add in another cogwheel here, and you'll see that it is now going slower, 7.5 RPMs. Why would I even want to do that? Reason being, let me grab one of these as well, a stressometer. This is the important part, is that if I have, actually, yeah, this is a good spot here. This is currently running pretty darn slow. It runs at 10.5 stress units, which means it can handle more than your traditional one here on the water wheel. Water wheel runs with 2.62. There you go. Maximum speed, or maximum stress by itself. When you step it down into slower speeds, it can handle more stressful things, therefore running things like this giant mechanical machine. Though at a snail's pace, it can still run something very heavy, just really slowly. And if I go up over here to this massive super speed contraption, it has almost no stress units available, is not likely to actually run anything short of things that have no stress impact, like belts and other cogwheels and stuff. and therefore it's not going to be quite so useful. So you do need to take into account, if you're just going to increase speed of stuff, you're probably going to want a little bit more stress units. Yes, you can stack a whole bunch of things like water wheels and whatnot and increase your stress ability. Therefore, if we look at this is hooked up to the water wheels below. I've got 8 of them down there. 15 RPMs, regardless of how many you have, unless you've stepped them up onto multiple units. And the remaining capacity here is 56 units, as opposed to, what was it, like 2 or something like that to start with. It's pretty darn good. I don't know why I just destroyed that. We're going to leave that there. So let's actually take some of this here. I will be back in a moment once I can place safely, without this water spawning, another cogwheel. All right, there we go. Much better. Why did I do that? Because I'm going to be showing you the next step in progression. Basically, if you want to get to something like this, your rotation speed controller, or just be able to make brass, because brass is needed for a lot of different things. Of course, brass ingots, which then you're going to want to smash on the press, and the sheets are used for the redstone links, which are like remote control redstone stuff. Hands, which are usable for a lot of things. Your hand crank that you saw in the previous video where I lowered and raised a wall. Extractors, brass casings, which are really pretty. They're the things on the ground here. Funnels, and more. You've got tons, especially your mechanical crafter right here, which is going to be used for making, your giant millstone wheels. But until then, you're going to need something a little bit more plain, like a millstone. It's going to grind some of the same things, but not nearly as many, and it will need a little extra help in order to do so. Now, in order to accomplish this, let's grab a gearbox here. I'm going to throw this on the side so that it can actually have things going out. It's not the way that I wanted it to actually go. We're going to use the other gearbox, this one that raises things up. There we are. Now, if I put a cogwheel on top, you can see that this is running kind of horizontally now instead of vertically like the other ones. If I take a millstone, I can put it in one of 2 places or orientations on this, either on top, like this, or on the side, like that. And therefore, it will grind things up as appropriate. So, if I were to continue on with this, let's actually put this here on this side. There we go. That works much better, because if I take a couple of shafts, put another one over here. Actually, let's put one over there. Give it a little bit more space for this to run on. And then I take a belt. There we are. We now have this ability here to kind of transport things. Actually, it's going the wrong way, but it doesn't really matter. Let's have this go over on this side. Little snafu there, no big deal. Grab this, break that, have it go over here. There we are. That's better. So it is now having the belt go away from this millstone. Reason being is I'm going to show you in a moment, but first, how do you get the ingredients for brass? You need to have crushed copper and crushed zinc. First, you have to obtain those items, and you need to be able to obtain them, I guess, is the actual thing. You're going to need the ores for them. And in this case, zinc ore, you need to actually grab and smash from the ore itself. You can't just smelt it up into a bar and then grind it in here. It'll just sit there grinding forever. Same thing with blaze rods and other stuff. This is only usable from the ore form. This is where the millstone is not really that good for a lot of things. It's good for some stuff to get you started. It's meant to be replaced later on, or just be compact for a few different items that you might have a need for. But in this case, we're going to need it to crush copper as well. So let's grab some copper ore, and I only need 1 zinc ore. And we toss one in here, and that's going to grind that up. And I toss copper in here, and that's going to grind that up. Now, what happens? They're just going to sit in there grinding stuff because they either need to be manually or automatically removed. If I have an extractor, which, look, requires brass sheets in order for it to work, you're going to need a belt, and it will come off just like that. Otherwise, you just wait, and it'll pop out. I think the other one shot out already. I think I missed that one. Aha! There we go. Turns out you just need to right-click on it, and that is one way of doing it. If you want, you can just stand here and just kind of like spam it for a while, and eventually they'll come out. I tossed in an entire stack here just so you can eventually see that this is the way that you would have essentially have to take it out, unless you have other means of extracting these items. But they do need to be extracted, so they will otherwise just sit in there doing nothing. So in order to continue on with this, we'll need some of our zinc, some of our copper, and it'll be needed to be used in one of these. A mixer, a mechanical one to be specific. And in fact, I'm going to kind of remove a bit of this because we don't need all these things. There we go. Get rid of all this stuff. Because what we're going to be needing is speed in this case. We need a lot of speed. Let's check out the speedometer. We're at 30. We need more than that. So we're going to keep stepping this up. We're going to go, oops, that's too many. We're going to need to go place one of these down here. And then I can place this against there. Get rid of these. Just ignore those. You don't even need them. And now we should be running at a cool 60 RPMs. Yes, because for running a mixer, as you can see, it's currently running. It has ingredients in there. It's not doing a darn thing. You need to have at least 32 RPMs, or, speed in this case, for it to actually process and mix things properly. So, if I make one of these, which it is required with a whisk, which is a bunch of iron sheets and stuff. I showed this in the first episode on how you can make plates and stuff like that. But if I put this on here, it's not going to work. Why? Because it requires a gear to run into it. As you can see here, I have a cogwheel, or not a gear, a cogwheel running into it. Yes, Cogswell Cogs has ruled everything in this case. So I'm going to need one of these, a gearbox, in order to have it go, kind of switch the angle 90 degrees. And then I can hook up one of these to the side of it. And now it currently will work. Then you need to make a basin, which is just a bunch of andesite alloy in a U shape, and then you throw in your ingredients. So we'll toss in some copper, we'll toss in some zinc, and that's it, right? No, there's further. You'll need to toss in a blaze rod as the catalyst. So to give an example, a lot of people are familiar with Thaumcraft. You throw in a whole bunch of ingredients in a cauldron, right? Then you throw in the catalyst, which will therefore tell it, this is the recipe I'm making. I am done with my ingredients and it will do it. Thing is that usually in Thaumcraft, it would eat all the ingredients. In this case, you have a chance of getting your catalyst back. A very high chance. I think it's like 94%. You throw it in there, it starts mixing, and then when it's done, it pops back up and it's there. And of course, you can still extract this in similar methods, and you get yourself your crushed brass, which then you can smelt and smash and turn into plates and use it for all of your different instructions and ingredients, crazy shenaniganery and weird contraptions that you so desire. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little bit on mixers, on millstones, and how you can progress with stepping up and down your gears. If so, please be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, be sure to come and visit us on Twitch and help spread the mischief in every opportunity you can. Till next time, folks, I'll see ya.